Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Ahmed Zakoyum bin Syarif to the number 2024247264, and today my group and I will be presenting about the 30th Malaysia Plan 2026-2030 as Malaysia's planned social change in development. Firstly, we will be going through the introduction where I will be explaining the definition of planned social change and giving you guys a brief overview of the 30th Malaysia Plan. The planned social change can be referred to as the intentional, structured efforts made by the administrative agents to systematically improve societal conditions. It is rooted from a sociological mechanism where it transforms communities through application in cultural symbols, value system, and rules of behavior. Cultural symbols mean shifting perception and representation of the people. Meanwhile, value system means evolution of societal priorities and beliefs. And lastly, rule of behavior means modifications in social norms and structures. Moving on, I will be giving you guys a brief overview of the 30th Malaysia Plan. The core framework of this plan is that the 30th Malaysia Plan serves as the strategic blueprint for the nation's economic and social development over the next 5 years. It was driven by the economy Madani that was deeply aligned with the Madani principle that was established by the government, where it prioritized sustainable growth, economic resilience, and shared prosperity. This plan also play a big role in economic acceleration, where it focuses on aggressive structural change to transition into a high-income nation through technological advancement, and also in terms of global and regional growth. This plan aims to propel inclusive growth, uplift rural areas, enhance development across all regions, and expand global economic integration. Now, I will be passing our presentation to the next members.
And this will bring us to section 2.0, which is the Social Development Initiative under the 30th Malaysian Plan. Poverty reduction programs in Malaysia are designed to improve the quality of low-life income communities through various government policies and initiatives. These programs provide essential support such as financial assistance, employment opportunities, education, and healthcare services. In Malaysia, poverty reduction is not only about helping vulnerable groups but also reducing income inequality and ensuring that everyone has access to basic needs. At the same time, effective poverty reduction requires a balance between immediate relief and long-term development. In the short term, measures such as subsidies, food aid, and cash transfers help families meet their daily needs and overcome financial difficulties. However, sustainable poverty alleviation cannot rely on short-term assistance alone. Long-term investment in education, vocational skills training, and public infrastructure are equally important to improve employability. Therefore, Malaysia's poverty reduction strategies combine both immediate support and long-term empowerment to create lasting social and economic development. We will continue to the next slide.
My name is Nur Armiliana. Today I will be presenting on education and skill developments and the 30 Malaysian plans. Education is one of the key priorities of the 30 Malaysian plans with the aim of building a knowledgeable skills and competitive society. The government intends to improve not only access to education but also the quality of learning outcomes. This includes strengthening skills management and ensuring that students are equipped with competency required in a rapidly changing economy. The plan also places emphasis on providing equal educational opportunities, particularly for marginalized and underserved groups. To evaluate progress, performance indicators such as PISA, TIMSS, and SPM results will be used. In addition, these reforms support the objective of the Malaysian education blueprint and promote a future-ready education system that focuses on outcomes rather than solely on access. Next, we will go in major initiative and investments. To achieve these goals, the government has allocated 67 billion for education developments. One of the major initiatives is the introduction of compulsory preschools education beginning at the age of 5. Along with the implementations of national preschool curriculums, this initiative aims to provide children with a strong educational foundations before entering primary schools. Another significant initiative is compulsory secondary education for all students. This policy is intended to reduce schools dropout rates and ensure that every student has access to a complete basic education. The government also seeks to close learning gaps and improve educational equity across the country. Next, for the teacher developments. Teacher developments is another important component of the 13 MP, which is the government plans to strengthen teacher competence and professional capability through continuous training and professional development programs. Effort will also be made to expand teacher recruitment pathways in order to attract a more diverse pool of talents and address teachers to teach in schools. By improving teacher quality and ensuring adequate staffings, the government hopes to enhance students' outcomes and reduce educational inequalities. Ultimately, this initiative will contribute to national economic growth, social mobility, and the development of a highly skilled workforce capable of supporting Malaysian future developments. Next, we will go through.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shahrul Izzah and my student ID is 2024282306, and today I will be presenting about Digital Transformation Initiative. The first point is National Digital Infrastructure Fortification. The goal is simple: establish a swift, reliable, and secure economy-wide connection. We are expanding high-speed internet to eliminate the digital gaps between urban and rural areas while upgrading national cybersecurity to protect our digital transactions and assets. This infrastructure is the absolute bedrock for everything else. Moving on to the second one is we are aggressively transitioning into an AI-driven nation by injecting AI into three different major sector, which is manufacturing, healthcare, and education. We aim to drastically scale up domestic productivity and decision making. This is backed by public-private R&D partnerships and deep education reforms in STEMs and TVET to prepare our future workforce. Now, last but not least, is the third pillar brings this transformation into the state itself through public sector end-to-end digitalization. By modernizing service delivery with unified online platforms across ministries, the government is eliminating redundant paperwork and cutting out bureaucratic hassle for regular citizens. That's all for now.
Okay, we will continue to section 3.0, which is challenges in implementing the 13 Malaysia Plan.
Welcome. Today we are analyzing how Malaysia is navigating its current financial landscape under the 13 Malaysia Plan. We will look at fiscal constraints, the complexity of budgetary allocation, and our strategic response to these limits. For the first one, which is the fiscal constraints are the inherent financial limitations faced by the government where public demand exceeds capacity. These are not just theoretical, they are practical challenges that dictate national planning. The government must constantly balance fiscal sustainability with essential obligations like civil service salaries and pension payments. The 13 Malaysia Plan emphasizes shifting from broad spending to targeted, data-driven initiatives. We are modernizing revenue through electronic invoicing and leveraging public-private partnerships alongside government-linked investment companies to supplement development expenditures. By integrating these strategies, the government aims to maintain national growth while staying within defined fiscal boundaries. That's all from me.
Next, we will go through to weak executions and accountability. Despite the ambitious goals of the 13 Malaysian plans, implementation challenge remains. One of the most significant challenges is weak executions and accountability among government agencies. Overlapping responsibilities between federal and state agencies often result in inefficiencies, duplications of work, and policy misalignment. These issues can delay project implementations and reduce the effectiveness of government initiative. Furthermore, Malaysia faces governance and coordination challenge, including weak interministerial cooperations and policy fragmentations. Hence, existing coordination mechanisms are often limited in effectiveness due to institutional constraints and a lack of integrations between new reforms and existing systems. As a result, implementation's efficacy is negatively affected. Next, the impact of national developments. Weak implementations and accountability can significantly affect national developments. Firstly, economic reforms may take longer to implement, slowing Malaysia's ability to adapt to global economic change and limiting the creation of quality employment opportunities. Secondly, weakness in education and training implementations can contribute to a shortage of skilled workers, creating a mismatch between workforce capabilities and industry needs. This challenge also affects strategic sectors such as artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and tourism, where effective coordination is essential for growth. Ultimately, poor execution reduces policy effectiveness and makes it more difficult for Malaysia to achieve the objective outlined in the 13 Malaysian plans. For strengthening governance for better implementations. To overcome this challenge, stronger governance and accountability are essentials. The government should improve coordinations among agencies through digital governance platforms that enable faster information sharings and better communications. This can help reduce bureaucratic delays and eliminate overlapping responsibilities, leading to greater efficiency in policy implementations. In addition, consistent monitoring, evaluations, and enforcement mechanisms should be strengthened to ensure that policies and programs achieve their intended outcomes. By improving governance and accountability, Malaysia can enhance the effectiveness of the 13 Malaysian plans and move closer to becoming a more competitive, inclusive, and resilient nation. That's all from me. Thank you.
Now, continuing on my presentation earlier, which is we must address the structural crisis compromising this plan, which is regional disparities. Now, look at the urban-rural dichotomy shown here, which is on the one side, the high-tech core of Klang Valley and Kuala Lumpur is rapidly evolving with complex ICT systems and concentrated wealth, while on the flip side, the underdeveloped periphery of the East Coast and the East Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak, remains trapped by basic infrastructure deficits and low digital literacy. This leaves rural communities locked out of the modern wealth, widening the urban-rural income gap to a dangerous level. Now, there's one question. Why is this gap so hard to close? Well, the answer is quite simple. First, institutional governance fragmentation creates an administrative bottleneck, overlapping responsibilities between federal and state agencies, paired with extreme fiscal centralization and political difference, routinely disrupt the flow of funds and slow down the infrastructure project in targeted areas. Last but not least is we face a fiscal paradox. Rural areas in Sabah and Sarawak still lack basic utilities like clean water, clean electricity and roads, which deploying high-tech infrastructure in Malaysia's rugged and complex terrain it requires a lot of money. However, federal government is under tight budget constraint due to a high national debt and pressure to reduce the deficit. Strict budget discipline ultimately block the massive expenditure needed to bridge the regional gap. Now, I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Naifah Sakinah binti Azlan and my ID number is 2024-650002. Today, I will be presenting about the recommendation of how government can overcome the 13 Malaysian plan challenges. The 13 Malaysian plan was introduced to strengthen the country's development and improve the well-being of the people. However, one of the biggest challenges faced by the previous Malaysia plans was weak execution and lack of accountability. Some projects may experience delay, financial leakage, and poor monitoring, causing public trust to decline. To overcome these problems, the government needs stronger financial management and more a transparent system. One way to improve the implementation of the Malaysian plan is through digital monitoring system. This system helps the government track the progress of the projects and financial spending more efficiently. With real-time monitoring, ministries and agencies can quickly identify delays or problems before it becomes more serious. This is not only improve coordination between the government agencies, but it also helps build public confidence that development projects are being managed properly. Besides, public service reform is also important in overcoming weak execution and accountability. A strong and efficient civil service plays a major role in ensuring government plans are carried out successfully. The government should focus on improving integrity, professionalism, and transparency among public servants. In addition, reducing unnecessary bureaucracy and improving communication between departments can make decision-making faster and more effective. The development projects under the 13 Malaysian Plan can be implemented more smoothly and efficiently. Another important step is the use of a performance-linked budgeting. Under this approach, government funding is connected to the actual performance of ministries and agencies. This system can encourage ministries to spend public money more carefully because they are accountable for the outcomes. It also helps reduce wasteful spending and ensures that the government projects actually benefits the people. By linking budgets with performance, the government can create a culture of responsibility and better financial management. Last but not least, a stronger fiscal disciplines and auditing are necessary to ensure public funds are used wisely. The government must control unnecessary spending and make sure development projects stay between the budget. Strict auditing can also help detect corruption, misuse of funds, and financial leakage. Regular financial reports and transparent auditing processes will increase the accountability among the ministries and agencies. When a financial management is handled properly, public trust in government also can be improved. Moreover, another challenge in implementing the 13 Malaysian Plan is ensuring that development is shared fairly across the country. While states such as Selangor and Penang continues to grow rapidly, some rural areas and regions in Kedah, Kelantan, Perlis, Terengganu, Sabah, and Sarawak still faces limited infrastructure, fewer job opportunities, and slower economic growth. If this issue continues, it may affect national unity and overall progress. Therefore, the government needs to focus on balanced regional development so that every Malaysian, regardless of where they live, can get and enjoy the benefits from the country's growth. One of the important ways to reduce regional imbalance is by improving infrastructures and strengthening the economic corridors. Better roads, railways, internet access, and public facilities can attract business and create more jobs in the less developed areas. For example, the East Coast Rail Link (ECRL), the development corridors such as Iskandar Malaysia in Johor, and the Sabah Development Corridor were created to bring more investment and economic activities into those regions. These efforts can help spread development more evenly across the country instead of focusing only on the major cities. Besides, the government should also provide more investment incentive and ensure fair spending with regions. Tax incentive, grants, and business supports can encourage companies to invest in rural and underdeveloped areas. For example, the Northern Corridor Economic Region (NCER) in states such as Perlis, Kedah, Penang, and Perak. Through projects in algae culture, manufacturing, and tourism, the NCER has helped generate jobs and improve local incomes. At the same time, government spending should also be shared more fairly so that the rural communities can also enjoy a better infrastructures and public service. The last one, the government needs to improve the human capital and job opportunities. People in rural areas need a better education, skill trainings, and access to employment so that they can improve their quality of life. For example, technical and vocational education and training (TVET) programs in Malaysia helps young people gain practical skills in areas such as engineering, manufacturing, and digital technology. Platforms such as My Future Jobs also help connect Malaysians with employment opportunities across the different states. With better skills and access to jobs, people from all regions can contribute to the country's economies and enjoy a better future.
Lastly, we will conclude this presentation. In conclusion, the 30th Malaysia Plan 2026-2030 marks a critical milestone by shifting national focus from temporary financial aids towards sustainable human development, digital transformation, and poverty eradication under the Economy Madani framework. However, achieving this high-quality life stage faces severe structural roadblocks, including budget constraints, bureaucratic delays, overlapping agency roles, and a widening tech divide caused by aging regional infrastructure. Ultimately, the plan's success hinged on strict fiscal discipline and leveraging tech-driven solutions to bypass bureaucracy, bridging regional disparity to build an equitable, independent, and prosperous nation where no Malaysian is left behind.